Part 34. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 331. Zhu Sun and Zhu Yu moved their cultivation to the 7th level of the mountain and paid attention to crushing these 4 ferocious beasts. But the monks behind Qin Feng were different. If Qin Feng and Long Ma hadn't stopped the 3 ferocious beasts, all 4 ferocious beasts were encountered by Zhu Yishan and the others, and they would have shed their skins even if they were not dead. Huh? Coming soon? Haha, boy, are you planning on me? When Zhu Ri heard this, he immediately understood the meaning of Qin Feng's words, which made him laugh. Qin Feng, do you think that because you have become a quasi-holy son, you have the capital to be arrogant in front of me? It's really ridiculous. Zhu Yu's face also turned cold. Qin Feng's words were very simple. He completely regarded the Suzaku divine pattern in their hands as his own. He was really arrogant. So you two know about me? Qin Feng's eyes turned cold. Since the two of them knew their identities, it confirmed his previous guess that these 2 people had deliberately lured the ferocious beast here. If he hadn't been strong enough, he might have perished here under the siege of the 4 ferocious beasts, which made him have murderous intentions in his heart. Hey, Qin Feng, you became famous in the power conference. It's a bit difficult not to let people know. Zhu Ri was suspended in the void, surrounded by divine power, and his black hair was flying, spreading out a powerful aura. Qin Feng's performance at the power conference has already spread. Among the true disciples of Suzaku Holy Land, countless people have the idea of causing trouble for Qin Feng. Because the strength of Yidong 5th heaven is really rubbish. Once Qin Feng is pulled down, he can replace him. You know me, but you still dare to lure the ferocious beast to my side. You are really looking for death. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curved. Since these 2 people knew about his performance in the power conference and dared to provoke him, it was intentional. Since it was intentional, then these 2 people did not have to live. That's not a good joke. Zhu Yu's eyes looked very cold. He stared at Qin Feng and said coldly. Facing his 2 brothers, Qin Feng dared to be so arrogant, which made them both sneer in their hearts. Qin Feng is quite conceited. Do you think that with the help of these dozen trash behind you, you can become enemies with my 2 brothers? I can kill them all by myself. Zhu Ri also laughed. In his opinion, Zhu Yishan, Fang Han and others couldn't even defeat Qin Feng, who was just trying to move the 5th level. Even if these rubbish were united, he could stop them alone. When Zhou Yishan, Fang Han and others heard this, they were all furious. There were more than a dozen of them together. Even the monks in the realm of Shenzhou did not dare to say that they could defeat them. You must know that not everyone in this world can be compared with the evildoer Qin Feng. There is only one evildoer like Qin Feng in a million. Zhu Ri, what are you bragging about? Mr. Qin can kill you with one hand. Xiao Lun was very dissatisfied. He had already seen how powerful Qin Feng was. The other party dared to brag like this in front of Qin Feng. It was really the ignorant who were fearless. Zhu Yishan and others were all led by Qin Feng. Qin Feng hadn't spoken yet, so naturally they didn't want to steal Qin Feng's limelight. Oh, Qin Feng, can you really slap me to death? When Zhu Ri heard this, he sneered instantly. As he spoke, he approached Qin Feng, while Zhu Yu faced the others. He was sure to stop everyone before Zhu Ri could kill Qin Feng. Killing you is just a matter of chance. With Qin Feng's hands on his back, he was clearly looking up at Zhu Ri in the void, but the disdain in his eyes, looking down at him, was more like looking down. Zhu Ri sneered and said, "It's ridiculous that you want to slap me to death. In my opinion, you are nothing but relying on that divine beast. Just now, Qin Feng's horse, Dragon Horse, killed 2 ferocious beasts. In his opinion, only Qin Feng's horse here is the most extraordinary and terrifying. I said a slap is a slap. Don't worry, My mount will never take action. Qin Feng rose into the air. He was suspended in mid-air, looking at Zhu Ri in front of him. A powerful wind spread around him, without any fear of the opponent. At this time, the previous ferocious beast fluctuations had already caused the monks in the Suzaku secret realm to move. Countless monks thought there was a vermilion bird divine mark here, and when they came closer, they instantly noticed something unusual here. Aren't those two senior brothers Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu? It is said that they can tie with senior brother Zhu Mu. Among all the young disciples in the Suzaku Holy Land, these two are at the forefront in terms of strength and are quite famous among the younger generation. Some people speculate that if the two of them join forces, even monks from the 9th level of Banshin can fight. It is very likely that they will enter the realm of divine illumination in the Suzaku secret realm. It is said that if these two senior brothers participate in this power conference, they will definitely become quasi-holy sons. Many monks discussed one after another, and they spoke highly of Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu. The two of them are very young, their combined attack skills are amazing, and their talents are extraordinary. It is reported that if it were not for this power conference, and the two did not participate in the retreat, they would probably be promoted to quasi-holy sons. You two seem to be very famous, but it's a pity that you met me. Qin Feng's divine power surged around his body, making him extremely ethereal and ethereal. His white Taoist robes danced, making him look super heavy and refined. Who is that person? He actually faced off against two senior brothers, Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu. Among the countless monks who looked over, some murmured to themselves that because Qin Feng's back was turned to them, they did not recognize Qin Feng's figure. The other party dared to challenge the two brothers. They must be very extraordinary. Could it be that they really have the strength to defeat them? Just now there was a riot of fierce beasts. Maybe the two brothers discovered the vermilion bird divine mark, and these people wanted to snatch it? No way, they are really ignorant and fearless. Do they think that they can fight against the two brothers with more people? Many cultivators talked about it, thinking that Qin Feng and others were too arrogant. Numbers can't play any role in the face of absolute strength. At this moment, because of the riot of the beasts, many cultivators were attracted and felt the tense atmosphere here. It seems that those people are very optimistic about you too. Qin Feng smiled faintly, and his voice spread here. Although the voice was not loud, it reached everyone's ears. Hey, why does this voice sound so familiar? Look, is the person in the forest Xiaolun Zuyishan. It is said that Xiaolun Zuyishan followed Qin Feng into the secret realm, so the young man in the sky is actually Qin Feng. What is Qin Feng? No wonder he is the opposite of Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu. All the cultivators were stunned. The figure floating in the void was clearly identified. It was the quasi-saint Qin Feng who was in the limelight. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 332. Actually, I didn't want to kill you, but since you are so disrespectful, I will send you on your way. Zhu Ri's eyes narrowed, and his body turned into a shadow, swooping towards Qin Feng. Bang! Zhu Ri's palm showed heavy firelight, raised high, diffused a powerful light mist, and shot towards Qin Feng, with murderous intent surging. Countless monks around looked at the conflict between the two, and no one was surprised. Zhu Ri's strength ranks among the best among the true disciples of the Suzaku Holy Land. If he were not in retreat and did not participate in the power conference, he might have a place for them as a quasi-holy son. Qin Feng obtained the quasi-holy son, and his divine king body was so powerful that few could compete with him, but his realm was still slightly lacking. Qin Feng and Zhu Ri are both the proud sons of heaven. Zhu Ri's realm crushes Qin Feng's dozens of smaller realms, but people think that Qin Feng will never benefit from Zhu Ri's hands. Qin Feng stood in the void and did not see any movement. When Zhu Ri's palm came in front of him, he raised his right hand and faced it. Bang! There was a flash of lightning between the two of them, and an extremely loud thunder sounded, spreading throughout the area. As the two palms collided, halos of light spread around, causing ripples to appear in the void, and the energy light flooded the place like gorgeous fireworks. Senior brother Zhu Ri has the level of moving mountains to the 7th level of the sky, and his strength is unfathomable. Even Qin Feng will have to pay a tragic price. Countless people exclaimed, feeling the divine power spreading out of the void, and they were all shocked. Zhu Ri's strength is extremely profound, and he has practiced in the Suzaku Holy Land for many years, and his divine power is even more unfathomable. However, when the fluctuations dissipated, everyone was stunned and didn't know what to say. In mid-air, Qin Feng stood facing the wind. His whole body was filled with divine power, as ethereal as a fairy, and as calm as usual. On the other hand, Zhu Ri's face turned the color of gold paper. His entire palm became tattered and twisted into a mass of blood oozing out from Qin Feng's punch. How is this possible? Qin Feng actually punched senior brother Zhu Ri until his bones and tendons were broken. This is too terrifying. All around, some monks showed strange expressions. They looked at the scene in the void and felt it was very incredible. You must know that senior brother Qin stood there to greet him instead of taking the initiative. This shows how strong he is. Some monks also said that Qin Feng passively attacked, and the divine power he unleashed crippled one of Zhu Ri's arms. This shocked people so much that they even changed their names. Qin Feng is suspended in the void, extremely calm. His God-King body is as powerful as the sea, and he has Panga bloodline. Few people can match him in terms of physical power alone. How is that possible? Zhu Ri couldn't believe it at all. His face was extremely ugly, and big beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Just now, he felt as if his body was slapped on an ancient sacred mountain, and the force of the shock was beyond his ability to resist. I said I would slap you to death. If you can stop my blow, I will let you go. Qin Feng stood in the void. He did not pursue him, but said lightly, his whole person showing an extremely confident look. Zhu Ri's face suddenly stiffened when he heard this. Just now Qin Feng said that he would be slapped to death, but he didn't believe it at all. Instead, he said that he would send Qin Feng on his way. But now, he took the initiative to attack and actually lost his sword, which was hard for him to accept. He was as powerful as the sea, more than a dozen small realms higher than his opponent. He had practiced for several years on the sacred mountain of the Suzaku Holy Land, and his combat power was unfathomable. But facing the young man in front of him, the first collision caused the entire arm to be broken into several sections. No one was more panicked than him. At this time, the atmosphere in the field was frighteningly solemn, Qin Feng's momentum was surging, and the ripples caused by the vibrations made the oppressed people breathless. Qin Feng's performance was as tyrannical as in a power conference. Even when facing the best among the true disciples, Zhu Ri, who had been famous for a long time, was still calm and indifferent. Instead, he injured the opponent, leaving people stunned. Brush. Naturally, Zhu Ri couldn't sit still and wait for death. His eyes changed slightly, and then he directly pulled out a bronze pagoda. The pagoda flashed with the wind and instantly turned into a giant of dozens of feet. It was as heavy as a small mountain and came towards Qin Feng to suppress it. The bronze tower was intertwined with divine power and was as heavy as a mountain. There was a roaring sound in the void, spreading endless ripples, and it was extremely heavy. Qin Feng showed no fear at all. He punched the sky again with his backhand. The low-grade Kunpeng fist spread out the light of the 12th lunar month and the sun. He slapped it with one hand, and the light reached its peak and hit upwards. Clang! A deafening sound came, and Qin Feng punched out a beam of light, which hit the pagoda. Then the pagoda shook continuously and was blown away by him. Crack! The pagoda was knocked thousands of meters away by Qin Feng's punch, and it was pressed on the top of a hill. The top of the hill shook for a while, and large cracks appeared, which was really scary. This one-arm swing may have the ability to throw a mountain. This is simply a savage beast in human form. The countless monks around were all shocked. Qin Feng blew away the opponent's protective pagoda with one punch. It was so brutal. His own bronze pagoda was blown away by Qin Feng, which made Zhu Rai's expression change drastically. In an instant, he waved 3 beams of light with his right hand. These 3 beams of light turned into 3 divine swords, and fire light flowed out all over the sky, towards Qin Feng slashed over. At this moment, Zhu Yu, who was confronting Zhu Yishan and others in the mountains, finally breathed a sigh of relief. These 3 divine swords were the true fire that Zhu Rai cultivated with his life. Their divine power was so powerful that it was so terrifying that even divine gold could be melted. However, something surprising happened. Kunpeng fist was transformed into Taiyan fist, and a dark energy flowed out. This Taiyan fist was so powerful that it instantly smashed the 3 true fire divine swords into pieces and disappeared into thin air. Too scary. That black substance seems to be Taiyan Qi, one of the 2 yin and yang energies in the legend. Countless cultivators around widened their eyes and felt incredible. Zhu Rai's innate true fire was directly wiped out by Qin Feng, and the cold wind here was biting, which was really amazing. At this moment, Zhu Yu, who was surrounded by Zhu Yishan and others, was a little panicked. Zhu Rai's attacks were repeatedly blocked by Qin Feng, which made him very anxious. Unfortunately, Zhu Yishan and the others did not want to give him this opportunity. They surrounded him and locked his soul completely. As long as Zhu Yu moved, he would be greeted by countless magic weapons. Get out of the way, or I will kill you without mercy. Zhu Yu's eyes were like lightning, and heavy flames flowed around his body. His murderous intent emerged, which was very terrifying. He and Zhu Rai were twins. When the combined attack technique was performed, the power was superimposed, and it had always been successful. But at this time, he and Zhu Rai were separated, and something seemed wrong. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 333. Zhu Rai's divine sword was directly blasted to pieces by Qin Feng, and even his divine fire was destroyed by Qin Feng's Taiyan Qi. The terrifying aura made him tremble from the depths of his soul. The 2 of them had a clear mind and communicated their thoughts to Zhu Yu in an instant. He knew very well that he alone was not Qin Feng's opponent. If he forced a confrontation with Qin Feng, he would only die. Junior brother, help me. Zhu Rai's heart was shocked, and he hurriedly asked Zhu Yu for help below. The combat power of the 2's combined attack skills was multiplied several times, and they were able to crush Qin Feng. At this moment, he no longer looked as conceited as before. Whether he was embarrassed or not was not important in the face of life and death. Privately, some monks were horrified when they heard this. After Zhu Rai, who was extremely powerful, failed to capture Qin Feng in 2 attacks, he was afraid of Qin Feng's power and actually asked for help. This gives people the opportunity to think how terrifying Qin Feng is in the dream, so much so that even the powerful opponent asks for help. The scene in front of me was really speechless. The Taiyan Qi destroyed the opponent's divine fire, making him extremely vulnerable. It seems that Zhu Yu will not be able to come to help in a short time. This scene makes everyone horrified. Seeing that Zhu Yu could not get away for the time being, Zhu Ri took the initiative to fly in the air. He wanted to come to Zhu Yu's side and unite with Zhu Yu. With his strength doubled, he would no longer be afraid of Qin Feng. "I'll go. Does senior brother Zhu want to run away? It's terrible that a peerless genius among the true disciples is so vulnerable in Qin Feng's hands." Countless monks here showed shock. The arrogant Zhu Ri, who was no match for Qin Feng, actually wanted to escape at this time, which made their faces full of shock. Zhu Ri, who was originally preparing to join Zhu Yu, staggered when he heard this. Not to mention how ugly his face was, but in order to survive, he still moved very quickly towards Zhu Yu. "Take a move from me too." When Qin Feng saw that the other party actually wanted to run, he stepped on the immortal walk as fast as lightning and immediately caught up with him. A blue halo flowed out of his palms, making the void tremble. Bang! At this moment, Qin Feng stood in the 9 Forbidden Realm, and the God King seal flowed out with unparalleled light, making the void tremble in an instant. The God King Yinruo suppressed the mountain, causing Zhu Ri to fall into a state of panic. He resisted with all his strength, but it had no effect. He was beaten to pieces by Qin Feng and flew out. Hiss! In the mountains in the distance, all the monks paying attention here were stunned. Qin Feng killed Zhu Ri with just one punch. He was indeed not lying, a slap was a slap. "Brother!" In the mountains and forests, Zhu Yu's eyes were so red that he burst into flames. He finally broke through the blockage of Zhu Yishan and others. He came to the void and connected to Zhu Ri's body. However, Zhu Ri's body instantly transformed into the light rain. Immediately afterwards, beside Zhu Yu, Zhu Ri's figure bloomed. A terrifying light flowed from his body, and there was endless killing intent in his eyes. At the last moment, Zhu Ri used the death talisman in his hand to replace his body, so he was not killed. "Qin Feng, I'm going to kill you." Murderous intent burst out in Zhu Ri's eyes. He was killed by Qin Feng with one punch in front of everyone, making him extremely angry and unable to get off the stage. This made him lose face. Only by killing Qin Feng could he relieve his hatred. "Well, your tone is quite serious. Come and see how I teach you two how to behave." Qin Feng smiled and waved to Zhu Ri, still calm and calm. Zhu Rinange used the death talisman in his attack, but his spirit was really decisive. The other party realized something was wrong at the last moment and activated the death talisman in advance, so that they had time to breathe. But, so what, facing him, there was only one way to die. Qin Feng saw Zhu Yishan and others around him wanting to come up to help. He waved his hand and said, "No, I can kill 2 shrimps by myself. Brother Qin Feng and I join forces, and the power is tenfold. You will only die." Zhu Yu sneered, and he was suspended in the sky, spreading out a powerful wind, filled with flames, powerful and fascinating. Zhu Ri's eyes were indifferent. As a leader among the young generation in the Suzaku Holy Land, he was famous for his combined attack technique. The tenfold superposition of his power was enough to make them proud of their contemporaries. Unfortunately, they met Qin Feng, who had dozens of times the power of the 9 Forbidden Realms. If he stood in the Divine Forbidden Realm, he would have thousands of times the power. Even a strong man in the Divine Light Realm could defeat him. It's rare to encounter an existence that allows 2 people to join forces to fight against the enemy. Although Qin Feng is very strong, he can't even face Zhu Sun and Zhu Yu joining forces. It is said that the 2 of them joined forces and once challenged the quasi-sage Zhu Mu, and they did not fall behind. There was a lot of discussion in the crowd, and many people were not optimistic about Qin Feng. The combined attack technique had 10 times the power, which was enough to crush many people. Xiao Lun, Zhu Yishan, and others looked anxious, very worried about Qin Feng's safety, because once Qin Feng was defeated, Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu would not let them go. On the other hand, Zhou Qing Wang Shui, and Long Ma were very calm. They were not worried about Qin Feng's safety at all. Qin Feng had been through many storms and waves, but the two people in front of him still couldn't see enough. Brush. Zhu Ri waved his hand, and real fire appeared in his palm, turning into a divine sword in the void, flowing with heavy energy, and the void trembled, revealing a terrifying light. At the same time, Zhu Yu did the same. He spread out the true energy and fire. The branches and leaves of the surrounding trees curled and dried up due to the high temperature, and the air was filled with extreme intent. Cut. With Zhu Ri's loud shout, the true fire sword in his hand flew through the air, cutting through the void, surging like a fire dragon. Then, Zhu Yu also made a move. He also shot out a true fire sword. This sword intertwined with Zhu Ri's sword in the sky, and then turned from a fire dragon into a sky dragon, revealing a terrible light. Endless energy light was vast between heaven and earth. The tenfold power superposition caused this place to shake violently. The strong wind that overflowed alone caused some trees in the mountains to collapse and vaporize instantly, turning into flying ash. The strong heat wave radiated to the junior sister in all directions, causing the temperature here to soar. Xiaolun, Zhu Yishan, and others had to use their true qi to protect themselves. They spread out beams of light to intercept the temperature in the void. Otherwise, when the extreme temperature came to them, they would not be able to bear it and would be dehydrated and die instantly. The dragon floated in the air, waving its fangs and claws, with flames flowing all over the sky. There was a terrible power flowing here, which made people tremble with fear and shiver all over. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 334. Qin Feng's eyes condensed. He looked at the flying dragon in the void, still very calm. Boom. Qin Feng punched the sky, Kunpeng fist converted into Taiyan Qi, and rushed up to the sky under the blessing of Juban. The terrifying light exploded on the dragon, spreading out the light of landslide and tsunami. A terrifying scene happened. The black Taiyan Qi extinguished the fire on the dragon, and then the whole dragon turned black, and then it exploded on the spot like black snow and disappeared into thin air. Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu were both stunned. The true fire that they had cultivated with their lives was shattered. The two of them vomited blood and their chests were red. They were both backlashed and injured. Kill! Kill! The two saw that the true fire sword with 10 times the combat power was superimposed, and they were not Qin Feng's opponent. They raised their true qi, and strange phenomena appeared behind them. The clouds and mist flowed, making the two look like gods descended, and the sky was full of fire. In the sky, the two men took out their quasi-immortal swords and struck forward, slashing out a golden light. Two red birds of divine fire appeared in the void, spreading a powerful and terrifying threat. When the red bird sword technique was used, the heaven and earth shook. The two red birds seemed real, and their blood and qi surged to cover the heaven and earth. This was the ultimate manifestation of the red bird sword technique. The strength was extremely powerful and slashed through the void. Pa! Qin Feng sneered. He used the Shura God King skill to activate the red bird 10 strikes. The divine fire also condensed into a divine sword, spreading divine power in the void. A huge red bird of divine form emerged, and its wings waved like two heavenly swords, splitting the heaven and earth, as if it was going to create the world. With a qi law, the red bird 10 strikes attacked and killed, directly wiping out the red bird sword lights of the two people, and at the same time, all the power was applied to Zhu Yu. Zhu Yu's whole body was shining brightly, as if he wanted to merge with the heaven and earth. He tried his best to block Qin Feng's attack, and at the same time, his feet flashed repeatedly, trying to dodge. However, under the blessing of the 9 forbidden, the Suzaku 10 blows instantly hit Zhu Yu's body. Zhu Yu was horrified, turned into a fleeting light, and decisively retreated, but it was over, so he decisively activated the rune in his hand. Want to leave? Dream on. Qin Feng shouted coldly, and his palm slapped repeatedly. The Suzaku divine form in the void was blessed by divine power again, like a volcanic eruption, blocking the way ahead and destroying the sky and the earth. Bang! Even as powerful as Zuyu could not stop it, and was instantly hit by Qin Feng's Suzaku 10 blows. All this was too fast, making everyone around dazzled. And Zui was also under Qin Feng's attack. He turned into a ray of fire and soared into the sky, brushing past the Suzaku 10 blows and dodged. However, when the light curtain dissipated, people were surprised to find that Zuyu, who was so arrogant just now, disappeared, and nothing was left. Zui was also horrified. Just a moment ago, he felt that Zuyu did not exist in his perception. That is to say, Zuyu did not stop Qin Feng's attack just now, and was directly wiped out by Qin Feng. Qin Feng sneered, and the corners of his mouth outlined a cold murderous intent. He stepped on the immortal step and came to a void in an instant. Boom! Qin Feng slapped it again, and the God King seal destroyed the world, and the void was shaking. Just when people were confused, they suddenly found that Zuyu's figure appeared in the void. Dang! Zuyu fought with all his strength. He mobilized all the energy around him, overturned Qin Feng's God King seal, and decisively flew backwards, with the vanguard hundreds of meters away. Qin Feng, I was wrong, spare my life. Zuyu's attitude changed immediately. He was murderous before, but at this moment he no longer had the will to fight Qin Feng. If he hadn't used the death substitute at the last moment, he would have really died. Gudong. Zhu Yishan, Xiaolun and others all swallowed their saliva. Everything just happened too fast, which shocked them. And, in the forest of Ainianchu, some low-level cultivators didn't understand why Zuyu's figure disappeared and appeared in a moment of blankness. Did he use some magical secret technique? What's the situation? Why did senior brother Zuyu disappear and appear again just now? The vermilion bird god form that Qin Feng played was too powerful. Not only did it destroy the two people's combined swordsmanship, but it also directly killed Zuyu. Some powerful cultivators explained, his hair stood up and cold sweat ran down his body. Qin Feng's speed of attack was too fast. He killed Zuyu so powerfully that no one could resist him. It turns out that Zuyu used an extremely precious death substitute. It's good to be a true disciple. He was rewarded with such a precious treasure. The cultivator instantly understood that it was not as precious as it was. There were some major sects that only the son of the saint could have. In this Suzaku Holy Land, some true disciples have death substitute talismans, which is really too tempting. Because only such holy lands and great sects can have so many treasures. What are you thinking? The death substitute talisman is extremely precious, but it is not really a substitute for death. It is just like a mirage in an instant, replacing a divine body. And this is not something that all true disciples have. Only talented and strong disciples will be rewarded. At this moment, Qin Feng stood in the void, with a powerful aura lingering around him, splitting the heaven and earth, as if he was going to create the world. Behind him, the Suzaku divine form emerged, and the divine power erupted like a volcano, making the void rumble and destroying everything. The vermilion bird 10 strikes performed by Qin Feng were extremely powerful, and the cultivators of the 7th level of moving mountains could not resist them at all. Zuyu stood behind Zui, his face pale. Qin Feng's strength was too strong, making his body weak. The feeling of surviving a disaster made him no longer able to resist. Similarly, Zui had no intention of resisting after seeing Qin Feng's vermilion bird 10 strikes. Both of them were horrified. Qin Feng's superposition of combat power gave them a sense of being unable to resist. They looked at each other and saw horror and retreat in each other's eyes. The two of them were not Qin Feng's opponents together. If they continued to fight, there would be only one way to die. Junior brother Qin, what happened today was the fault of my two brothers. I hope junior brother Qin will show mercy. Zhu Ri squeezed out an ugly smile on his face. At this time, he knew that it was absolutely unwise to fight with Qin Feng. At this time, the death talisman had been used up. If they were killed by Qin Feng, they would truly fall. Is this your attitude of admitting your mistakes? Qin Feng stood in the void, looking down at the two people below. Plop. Brother Qin, spare my life. The two dared not delay any longer after hearing this. They trembled all over and knelt down on the spot in fear, even changing their address. However, Qin Feng was still very dissatisfied with this. The two were frightened to death and kowtowed to beg for mercy. Brothers, what are you doing? Please get up quickly. Don't you want my vermilion bird divine mark? I'll give it to you now. Qin Feng smiled, and he landed in front of the two people, reaching out to help them up. This scene made the two people tremble all over and almost wet their pants. At this time, let alone the vermilion bird divine mark, even if the other party really wanted to give it to them, they didn't dare to take it. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 335. If Sunday and Zuyu still can't understand the meaning of Qin Feng's words, then their lives will be in vain. Qin Feng's intention was very obvious, he wanted their vermilion bird divine mark, and the two of them had no choice but to give in order to survive. Senior brother Qin, I got 2 vermilion bird divine marks. It's useless to keep them, so I'll show my respect to you. Zuyu turned over his hands, took out the 2 Suzaku divine marks he had obtained, and handed them to Qin Feng reluctantly. Although this fragment of the Suzaku divine pattern is very precious, in the face of life and death, it is not as important as your own life. Then why are you embarrassed? As a senior brother, how can I ask for something from you too? Qin Feng deliberately looked embarrassed. He looked at the two of them with a smile, with murderous intent in his eyes. I also got 2 vermilion bird divine marks. I hope senior brother Qin won't dislike it and please accept it. Zhu Ri also took out 2 Suzaku divine marks. Although he was in great pain, he could only surrender obediently in order to survive. Yes, senior brother Qin, this is our tribute to you, just in time to congratulate you on becoming the quasi-holy son. The two people said quickly, they were shocked, the murderous intention in Qin Feng's tone was undisguised, how could they not send him out quickly? Otherwise, if you make the other party unhappy, your life will be in danger. Since you two are so kind, I will accept it. Qin Feng nodded. He waved his hand to capture 4 Suzaku divine marks. Feeling the powerful energy contained in them, he took them into his own space with satisfaction. When Zhu Ri and Zuyu saw this scene, their hearts were bleeding with distress, but there was nothing they could do. If the divine pattern fragments were gone, they could still find them again. If their lives were gone, they would have nothing. Everyone present looked at the 2 vermilion bird divine marks and felt very shocked and unbelievable. Qin Feng got 4 Suzaku divine marks so easily and freely. It couldn't be too easy. The Suzaku divine pattern contains immeasurable true energy, which is comparable to the great medicine in the world. It is a great tonic that can improve the monk's realm without any side effects. In the mountains and forests in the distance, the monk's eyes were bright. The 2 brothers Zuri and Zuyu, who were originally extremely powerful, were now kneeling sincerely in front of Qin Feng to plead for mercy, which made people dumbfounded. Okay, let's get up. Qin Feng waved his hand, indicating to the two of them that Zhu Ri and Zuyu did not pose any threat to him, so they did not need to worry about it. When Zhu Ri and Zuyu heard this, they felt as if they had been granted amnesty. They sincerely nodded to Qin Feng, then rose into the sky and disappeared here without looking back. By provoking Qin Feng this time, they were really losing his wife and losing his troops. The two of them did not dare to stay here any longer, and they never wanted to see Qin Feng again. After sending away the 2 gods of plague, Qin Feng turned over and mounted the dragon horse to prepare to leave here. Suddenly, just as Qin Feng's dragon and horse rose into the air, a powerful aura pierced through, and the target was Qin Feng. Careful! Zhou Qing'er exclaimed. She discovered that someone was attacking Qin Feng, and her whole face changed. Watch your back! Wang Shui also exclaimed. That cold light shining on the world was so sharp that it broke through the strong wind. At this moment, Qin Feng also realized that something was wrong. He was surrounded by the vision of the God King, protecting himself and the dragon and horse. At the same time, Ryoma swept out with a swipe of the divine dragon's tail, and a sonic boom erupted in the void. Clang! The sword energy collided with the dragon's tail, and a metallic trembling sound was heard. The powerful momentum flowing out made the void tremble violently. When the light dispersed, people found that Qin Feng was still sitting on the dragon horse, with a murderous look between his brows, but unscathed. The opponent's full blow was not broken by Ryoma's defense, leaving only a faint white mark on Ryoma's tail. Qin Feng's eyes were full of cold murderous intent. He looked at his attacker. He was a middle-aged warrior, wearing a grey robe, and his brows were filled with anger. Qin Feng was sure he had never seen this person before, but his aura was extremely familiar. Is it you? The tournament of power attacked my law enforcement elder. Qin Feng pondered for a moment, and he found out the identity of the person coming from the other person's aura. The other person turned out to be Zhu Di, the law enforcement elder of the Suzaku Holy Land. Although this man had changed his appearance, his aura could not be concealed and Qin Feng recognized him. Qin Feng, if you kill my child, I will take your life today. Zhu Di's eyes were slightly cold. The light on his body flashed, terrifying divine power flowed out, and his sword energy soared into the clouds. Elder Law Enforcement. Is it Zhu Di? Wasn't Zhu Di punished by the Holy Lord and put in solitary confinement? Why is he here? Behind Qin Feng, several true disciples were all shocked. During the conversation, they learned the man's identity. Zhu Di injured Qin Feng because of his strong attack in the power conference. In the end, the deputy saint directly punished him in confinement and prohibited him from leaving the mountain. But at this time, why the other party appeared here is difficult for people to understand. The situation in the Suzaku Holy Land was guarded by dedicated personnel. How did the other party escape? Do you want to avenge Zhu Qian or Zhu Shan? Qin Feng sneered and said, during the power conference, when he defeated one of the two, Zhu Di came out to stop him. From that time on, Qin Feng felt that Zhu Di was related to these two people. Was one of them the illegitimate son of Zhu Di? Just when Zhu Di heard Qin Feng mention the word Zhu Shan, his pupils suddenly shrank. Qin Feng killed Zhu Shan in front of him at the power conference, which made him crazy with hatred. However, because he took action first, he was imprisoned by the deputy Holy Master Suzaku and was not allowed to leave the mountain, so he could not take revenge. He had also attacked Zhou Qing'er and Wang Shui, but was stopped by the deputy Saint Zuyan. He could only watch his children die without any solution, and he couldn't even get some interest. This time, someone in the Suzaku Holy Land found him and took him into the Suzaku secret realm, asking him to get rid of Qin Feng. Since he could avenge his children, he certainly agreed with all his heart and entered the Suzaku secret realm without any hesitation. At this time, Qin Feng defeated Zhu Ri and Zhu Yu. It was the moment when he relaxed his vigilance, and he decisively attacked and killed them. But unexpectedly, even at such a critical moment, Qin Feng did not relax his vigilance. He hit the opponent's beast with all his strength, but he didn't even break its defense, which shocked him. Law enforcement elder, you sneaked out of the forbidden area, aren't you afraid that the saint will blame you? Zhu Yishan shouted. At this moment, he felt the three law enforcement elders in the void, and his heart was extremely shocked. Zhu Di's cultivation level is as high as the 9th level of moving mountains, and he is only one step away from the realm of divine illumination. The opponent's divine power is like the sea. If he attacks brazenly, I am afraid that all the people together will not be his opponent. Qin Feng killed my son Zhu Shan, and Zhu Yan, that coward, blamed him and promoted him to a quasi-holy son. I am very upset. Zhu Di's eyes were red and his murderous intent surged in his heart. He must kill Qin Feng to dispel the hatred in his heart. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 336. When Zhu Yixin, Xiaolun and others heard this, they were suddenly shocked and angry. The opponent had the strength to move mountains and reach the 9th level. Who can compete with him? Elder, if you ran out of the forbidden area privately, aren't you afraid of being punished by the Holy Land? Punishment? He. Zhu Di smiled coldly and said, as long as I kill Qin Feng and then wipe out all of you, who will know that I came to the Suzaku secret realm today? When Fang Han, Fang Ling, and others heard this, their hearts surged with anger, and they were all trembling with anger. It is really shameful for the dignified elders of the Suzaku Holy Land to make such a gesture. However, everyone knows that since Zhu Di dares to appear here, he is definitely prepared. Are all of them really going to perish here? However, there are countless monks in the mountains and forests paying attention to this place, and it is impossible for them to kill them all. Elder, there are more than a dozen of us here. Even if you are the law enforcement elder, it is impossible to kill them all. Qianming also shouted, even if the other party's pocket is as deep as the ocean, it is impossible to let even one person go. As long as the news here spreads, the other party will definitely be doomed. When he escapes from the Suzaku secret realm, the Holy Lord will never let him go. Those people don't know my identity at all, and what if I'm exposed? As long as I can kill Qin Feng and avenge Shan'er, everything will be worth it. Zhu Di, the law enforcement elder, was furious in his heart. Zhu Shan was his illegitimate son. He devoted all his resources to Zhu Shan. Unexpectedly, he was killed by Qin Feng. You can imagine the anger in his heart. And no. At this moment, he was so distracted by his anger that he completely forgot that at that time, the reason why Qin Feng killed Zhu Shan was entirely because she took action to kill Qin Feng without permission. Boy, you killed my son, and I want to bury you with him. Law enforcement elder Zhu Di, filled with murderous aura, rushed over suddenly. At this moment, nothing mattered. As long as he killed Qin Feng for revenge, he was completely reckless of the consequences. Boom! The Suzaku divine fire condensed in the void, and the power of the mountain moving 9 heavens spread. In an instant, the 9 mountains that appeared in the void were all flowing with the Suzaku divine fire. The 9 sacred mountains of Suzaku were engraved with runes, and the vast and terrifying light shocked everyone present. Law enforcement elder Zhu Di moved the mountain to the 9th level of heaven, and his strength was as strong as the sea, unfathomable. The 9 mountains suppressed it, and the ground could not withstand its momentum and began to crack, spreading endless waves, and the place was shaking. Qin Feng sneered disdainfully, even if the other party has the cultivation level to move mountains and reach the 9th level, so what? If you killed him once, you can kill him a second time, or even countless times. Senior brother Qin, let's help you. Zhu Yixin and others all stepped forward and rose into the air. This matter was related to their lives, and they were all ready to attack together. In response, Qin Feng waved his hand indifferently and said, No, it's just an old dog from the 9 heavens. I can kill him by myself. There is another reason why Qin Fengzi said this. Once these people take action, they will be unhelpful, so if you have to distract them, your combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced. Boom. In the void, Qin Feng punched 9 punches in an instant, and the 9 divine king seals spread out and hit the Suzaku mountain above. Murderous intent filled the air for a moment. At the same time, dragon talismans appeared on all the 9 divine seals, and the powerful Suzaku vision appeared behind Qin Feng, like a god that moved the sky and the earth. In the blink of an eye, the 9 sacred mountains of Suzaku released by Zhu Di, the law enforcement elder, were directly blasted to pieces by Qin Feng and disappeared into nothing. This scene made the law enforcement elder Zhu Di's expression change slightly. His Suzaku mountain was an extremely powerful killing move. The transformed mountain was enough to suppress all enemies. But he didn't expect that Qin Feng and Qin Feng God King's body would all be destroyed, which was hard for him to accept. Last time, at the power conference, Qin Feng chopped him with a sword, but this time Qin Feng stopped the attack with just his fists. His combat power was even more terrifying than that time. This surprised Zhu Di. In just a few days, Qin Feng's magical power had become even deeper. Such terrifying combat power was indeed far beyond anyone's reach. Old dog, who put you into the Suzaku secret realm? Qin Feng's face was very calm. Zhu Di was ordered to be placed in solitary confinement. If he appeared in the Suzaku secret realm, someone would definitely help him. Who could have invited the law enforcement elders of the Suzaku Holy Land and escaped the supervision of other elders? This matter deserves scrutiny. First, the head of the Xia family appeared in Qin Feng's mind, but was directly eliminated by him. The Xia family head's strength is not enough to bribe the elders and monks who guard Zhu Di in the Suzaku Holy Land. It seems that he should be the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, or a holy son or something like that. He is dissatisfied with what he has done and wants to kill himself in the Suzaku secret realm to avoid future troubles. It's better to go to hell and let the king of hell tell you about this matter. Zhu Di snorted coldly. He stood in the void, surrounded by true energy, growing a pair of huge Suzaku wings, flowing out of the divine fire that filled the sky, and spread easily. You are so powerful. No one here, including senior brother Qin, is your opponent. Why don't you let us be sensible? Fang Han said with a focused gaze, feeling the powerful power spreading from Zhu Di in the sky. Although they knew they were invincible, they still had to fight. In the void, Zhu Di stared, then he laughed and said, "Well, anyway, you are already fish on the chopping board, it doesn't matter if I tell you, it's Zhu Qishan." Zhu Di has made up his mind to kill Qin Feng and the others, not to mention that even if there are 1 or 2 fish that slip through the net, Zhu Qishan will not care, because Zhu Qishan is strong enough. What is Zhu Qishan? Zhou Yishan was shocked when he heard this. Although he and Zhu Qishan's names are only 1 character apart, their strengths are very different. Zhu Qishan is one of the sons of the Suzaku Holy Land. His cultivation is as high as the Divine Mirror, and his strength is unfathomable. Among the 8 sons of the Suzaku Holy Land, Zhu Qishan's strength is enough to rank in the top 3. He can kill Zhu Yishan with 1 palm. Zhu Qishan. Qin Feng's eyes were majestic. He tilted his head slightly and looked at Wang Shui behind him. As the intelligence officer, Wang Shui has some research on some of the geniuses in the Holy Land. Wang Shui understood instantly, and she gently opened her red lips and said, "Zhu Qishan, one of the 8 saints of the Suzaku Holy Land, has unfathomable strength." "Is that so? I remember that I didn't seem to offend him." Qin Feng nodded, and he pondered for a moment. He really didn't have much impression of the name Zhu Qishan. Moreover, after entering the Suzaku Holy Land, he had never acted arrogantly. How come this Zhu Qishan suddenly appeared, and he was a saint's son? Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 337. Zhu Qishan, the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, was extremely powerful and actually targeted Qin Feng, which shocked Zhu Yishan and the others. In their opinion, although Qin Feng was extraordinary, it was not enough to threaten Zhu Qishan's status. Why did he provoke the other party to want to harm Qin Feng? Qin Feng pondered slightly. He didn't understand how he provoked the other party. Is it because he was extraordinary and holy enough? Qin Feng takes his life. Taking advantage of Qin Feng's absent-minded moment, Zhu Di took out a quasi-immortal sword and slashed it out. A Suzaku divine form that was more than 10 feet long appeared in mid-air. True fire filled the sky, and terrifying murderous intent flowed in the void. The space collapsed inch by inch, spreading ripples. The power of the mountain-moving 9 heavens spread out. Zhu Di attacked with all his strength, and the terrifying light broke through the void. At this moment, Fang Han, Xiao Lun, and others felt as if they were facing a formidable enemy. The hair on their bodies stood on end, and they felt invincible in their hearts, as if they were facing the power of heaven and earth. Qin Feng felt the power spread by Zhu Di, and he had to admit that the rumors were true. The first level of cultivation is the threshold of the first level, especially after crossing the King realm. Zhu Di's divine power is like the sea in the 9th level of moving mountains. As true disciples, Zhu Yishan and the others are only 3 small levels away, but they are still as different as heaven and earth. Fortunately, Qin Feng has the blessing of 81 times the strength of the 9 Forbidden City. Otherwise, he would have no choice but to run away against Zhu Di. Brush. Qin Feng stepped out, and with the immortal walk, he turned into a shadow, merged with the void, and disappeared instantly. Boom. The terrifying sword light struck the ground, causing a roaring sound. A ditch hundreds of feet long appeared on the ground, with rocks piercing the clouds and smoke and dust stirring. The ground was shaking, and huge rocks were rolling down. It was really terrifying. Qin Feng, you have a few tricks up your sleeve, but do you think I can't do anything to you because of your fast movement? Zhu Di shouted, and suddenly, a shadow appeared behind him. In an instant, the shadow blocked Qin Feng's voice and blocked his way. As the law enforcement elder of the Suzaku Holy Land, Zhu Di has very high attainments in body skills. In an instant, he can condense a shadow that is as lifelike as his real body. Qin Feng's fiery eyes instantly saw through the illusion, but the 2 figures were like clones, both possessing the strength to move mountains and the 9th level. This is like in the legend, the clone-like movement technique has reached its extreme, and the reflected shadow makes it difficult to distinguish reality from reality. Qin Feng frowned slightly. The other party was indeed a bit tricky. Even with his sharp eyes, he couldn't see through the other party's reality, so he had to be cautious. Suzaku slash. Zhu Di roared and launched the Suzaku slash. This is the secret sword technique of the Suzaku Holy Land. The 2 figures shot together. The powerful impact swept across the void, causing the void to be cut open. A storm of sword energy spread out to kill Qin. The body of the wind. Suzaku slash, as a quasi-immortal martial art, is powerful enough to crush all the superior martial arts of the Heavenly King. The dozen or so true disciples around them felt the storm of divine swords forming in the void. All of them looked pale and felt extremely shocked in their hearts. They knew that such sword skills were absolutely unstoppable with their own strength of moving mountains to the 6th level. If Qin Feng could not avoid it, he would be seriously injured even if he did not die. Qin Feng had fiery eyes. When he saw the 2 of them attacking together, he knew that he could not avoid it. Therefore, the vision of the God King lingered around him. If a dragon talisman was engraved in the golden bell, it would be blessed on his body, with 81 times the power superimposed. Protect yourself. At the same time, the lower-level immortal Ruyi armor on his body also protected himself and enveloped his whole body. The next moment, the terrifying sword light hit Qin Feng's vision, and the void shattered into pieces, which was breathtaking. Everyone present was horrified and immediately flew away from this area. Because the power spreading here is so terrifying, once you are involved, you will definitely suffer. The void collapsed and was annihilated every inch. Such a terrifying method was shocking. However, Qin Feng rushed out directly with the sword in his hand. Although he was a little weak and shaken, he was not seriously injured. Puff. Qin Feng made a strong move, using the immortal slaying Shura to perform the 10 strikes of the Suzaku. The terrifying light filled the air and instantly split the Zhu De figure in front of him. In an instant, the figure in front of him vaporized and disappeared, while the figure of Zhu De on the other side was shaken all over, vomiting blood at the mouth, and suffered backlash. You've run out of moves, now it's my turn. There was a faint smile on Qin Feng's face. He stepped on the immortal walk and rushed forward in an instant with immortal killing Shura in hand. Boom! The power of the 9 forbidden bounds on the Suzaku divine form, making the vision dazzling, and then flowing out of divine patterns all over the sky. Zhu De resisted with all his strength and instantly put up 36 layers of light shields to protect himself. Qin Feng's Suzaku 10 strikes hit the opponent's body, making a shocking sound, but it did not break the opponent's defense. Zhu De completely blocked Qin Feng's attack, which made him feel confident. From this point of view, it was just a coincidence that Qin Feng killed him at the power conference because he was careless and underestimated the enemy. This made Zhu De's face reveal a look of certainty of victory, and she felt much calmer. Qin Feng frowned slightly. The immortal killing Shura with 81 times the power of the 9 forbidden blessings was not enough to kill Zhu De. Zhu De moved the mountain to the 9th level of heaven. Unless he was in the divine forbidden realm, he would not be able to kill him. Back then, at the power conference, he was able to kill Zhu De in the void because he was in the divine forbidden realm and blessed with thousands of times more power. At this time, the divine forbidden realm cannot be triggered, and I can only think of other ways. If I use Pangu's foot, it seems too wasteful to use it on Zhu De. Just to move the garbage from Zhekongtian, Pangu's feet were used, which was overqualified and underused. By the way, it seems that I can only use that move. Qin Feng turned over his hands and took out 2 fragments. As soon as the fragments appeared, a powerful breath of life suddenly flowed out, as if the energy of a mountain had been concentrated. When Zhu De saw this scene, a sneer broke out on his face. He looked down at Qin Feng and said, "Qin Feng, it's useless for you to hold on to the Buddha's feet at this time." Zhu De had already seen clearly that the fragments in Qin Feng's hands were the Vermilion Bird Divine Mark. The Vermilion Bird Divine Mark could allow monks to evolve. The 2 divine marks in Qin Feng's hand were enough to allow ordinary monks to advance to 2 realms. However, at this time, the enemy is facing, and refining the Suzaku divine pattern to improve the realm is absolutely a life or death struggle. Although there are no side effects in using the Vermilion Bird divine pattern, the huge energy contained in it needs to be refined bit by bit. If it is forcibly absorbed, the body will explode and die. Qin Feng, even if you are promoted to the 6th level of consciousness, you can't be my opponent. In the end, there is only a dead end. Zhu De glanced with cold eyes. The Vermilion Bird divine mark in Qin Feng's hand also had a miraculous effect on him, and he could not watch Qin Feng absorb it. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will handle it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 338. Qin Feng made a prompt decision, and the Suzaku true fire flowed from his hand, and he began to refine the Suzaku divine mark in front of everyone. Everyone around was stunned. They didn't quite know what Qin Feng was going to do at this time. It was too late to refine the Suzaku divine pattern and evolve it at this time. If cultivation could be so simple, why would those monks go to such lengths to practice in seclusion for months or even years? Even though the vermilion bird divine mark has energy like the sea and has few side effects, refining it cannot be accomplished overnight, especially now that there is a powerful enemy. If Qin Feng wants to refine the vermilion bird divine mark and upgrade it, he is simply asking for death. Base. As the Suzaku divine fire burned, the divine pattern melted, and the essence surrounded Qin Feng's body for a while. The Suzaku divine pattern exuded a powerful aura like a landslide and tsunami, flowing around him like a river of essence. Hiss. Qin Feng took a big breath, and the vision of his divine king surrounded his body. He instantly swallowed the energy flowing out of his body into his mouth. Then, the divine power surged in his body and bloomed with amazing light. Clang. Zhu Di cut open the void with one sword, the wind and clouds stirred up, the strength of the nine heavens moved the mountains, the divine fire flowed through the sky and the earth, turning some rocks into magma. Facing Zhu Di's sword, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal walk and ducked away in an instant. Nima. At this moment, Zhu Di just wanted to curse, but such a powerful blow was directly dodged by the opponent. The opponent's movement was too fast and weird, and it was difficult for the sword to catch up. Buzz. Qin Feng points his sword to flow the Suzaku true fire, and the sea of gods behind him is filled with endless energy, which pours directly into the overlord heaven and earth. At this moment, Zhu Di took action again, because he saw that Qin Feng's God King Sea actually had the ability to swallow up the heaven and the earth, and a huge amount of energy was absorbed by the God King Sea, which was shocking. Zhu Di believes that if Qin Feng cannot be killed directly, he is afraid that the other party may really refine his divine power, advance brilliantly, and then pose a threat to him. Buzz. At this moment, 8 Suzakus appeared behind Zhu Di. As he swung his sword, the 8 Suzakus turned into blades and took over. The Suzaku Slash, a quasi-immortal martial skill, shook the void, swept across the wasteland, dominated the world, and blocked all positions that Qin Feng could avoid. The light of these 8 swords annihilated the void, spreading out terrifying light and surging murderous intent. Qin Feng's eyes narrowed slightly, and he felt uneasy, so he gritted his teeth and placed all 4 divine symbols into his divine king sea. For a moment, the sea of divine kings boiled, and the 4 Suzaku divine pattern fragments flowed out with tsunami-like energy. Each one was like a sacred mountain, the energy was compressed, and the power was astonishing. The next moment, Zhu Di's 8 Suzaku slashes stood on Qin Feng's body, making a shocking noise. However, when the light dispersed, Zhu Di's eyes suddenly shrank, and his domineering light battle broke apart, without causing the slightest harm to Qin Feng. The Divine King's visionary body protection on Qin Feng is like a golden bell, making him invulnerable to water and fire, and himself immortal. With the blessing of Jijin's divine power, he blocked the attack of Suzaku Slash. Although he was shaken, his energy surged, and he cast blood stains, but his physique was too strong, and the blood of Pangu made his combat effectiveness not much weaker. Qin Feng, you can take my Suzaku attack without dying. You are indeed a character. However, if you are injured, your head will be missing. Zhu Di attacked Qin Feng again, and the Suzaku Slash destroyed all obstacles, making him invincible. Qin Feng's Divine King Sea was still refining the vermilion bird divine pattern. At the same time, he struck forward with the Divine King Seal in his left hand and the Kunpeng Fist in his right hand, shaking the void. Boom! The heaven and earth shook violently, and a huge roar sounded in the void. Everyone here was trembling in their hearts, as if they felt the end of the world was coming. Many monks almost fell to the ground if they faced the power of the gods. Qin Feng's Kunpeng fist struck Zhu Di's blade without any forward movement, spreading out a tsunami-like wave of energy. The force of the fist swept across the place, which was very terrifying. The God King seal shook the void even more. Like a real ancient sacred mountain, the suppressed void was roaring. Qin Feng felt this, the mighty energy in the sea of God King. He felt that the energy of the Suzaku divine pattern was endless, enough to elevate himself to a small level, but facing Zhu Di, who was in the 9th level of the mountain, it seemed that it was not enough. Brush. Qin Feng waved his hand in front of everyone, and he threw hundreds of thousands of divine moving pills into his own sea of divine kings. Hundreds of thousands of divine moving pills, like stars spinning, filled the air with countless essences and spread out of the mist of light. Damn it, you are still adding more pills, aren't you afraid of exploding and dying? 4 Suzaku divine marks, plus so many elixirs, are enough for a monk to improve to 4 minor realms. Some people were talking about it, but they were all stunned. Qin Feng's move should not be too surprising. Ha ha ha, with such amazing energy, do you want to explode and die? You are really asking for your own death. Zhu Di looked up to the sky and laughed. He really wanted to kill Qin Feng. At this moment, a storm of true energy arose from Qin Feng's body and spread here. The terrifying energy contained in it shocked everyone. Even monks in the divine light realm would not dare to absorb such energy forcibly. They would die instantly because there is too much energy, and even the body cannot bear it. What do you know? People's bodies are different. Qin Feng teased lightly, and then in front of everyone, he opened his mouth and sucked in all the energy in the God King Sea. Buzz. At this moment, Qin Feng was shrouded in a giant dragon phantom of the heaven grade. He swallowed the sky and the earth, absorbing all the 4 vermilion bird divine patterns, including the medicinal power of hundreds of thousands of divine moving pills, into his body. Endless light was surrounding him. Qin Feng transformed into the Dharma of heaven and earth. The vision of the God King was shaking, and at the same time, 3 Shura visions and a vermilion bird vision appeared together. The terrible light was flowing, as if a dragon of essence was surrounding him, and the energy in Qin Feng's body was shining, and he began to advance. Crack. The energy confinement was broken, and Qin Feng directly promoted to a small realm. Immediately afterwards, another sound of shackles being opened sounded, and Qin Feng entered a small realm again, becoming a cultivator of the 7th heaven of intention. With so much energy, he only promoted himself to 2 small realms, and Qin Feng was still a little dissatisfied. You must know that these 4 vermilion bird divine patterns are enough for ordinary cultivators to advance to 4 small realms, and his own divine power is like the sea, and the essence he needs is too much. With such a huge amount of energy and hundreds of thousands of Shendong pills, he only advanced 2 realms. It was a pity. At this moment, a huge energy storm surrounded Qin Feng, and then the system prompt sounded. Congratulations to the host, the cultivation realm has been improved, and all martial arts have been upgraded to the middle level of immortal quality. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 339. Qin Feng's eyes were bright. The 4 Suzaku divine marks had improved 2 small realms, which was not bad. The changes in the 2 small realms would also increase his combat effectiveness several times. If coupled with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, Qin Feng felt that it would be enough to destroy Zhu Di. All around, Zhu Yishan, Fang Han and others' pupils shrank directly, their hearts unbelievable, their shock could not be concealed. No wonder Qin Feng is so strong. 4 Suzaku divine marks and hundreds of thousands of divine movement pills allowed him to advance to 2 minor realms. The energy required is so amazing. The ancient Holy Land, which costs so much, may not be able to afford it. Qin Feng, even if you improve 2 small realms, you are still no match for me. Zhu De crossed the Suan view, and the lightning and sword energy he transformed into continued, emitting red fire, and the divine light surged. In fact, no one except Qin Feng could stop such fighting power. Facing the strength of Zhe Zongtian, most people could only avoid its edge and attack from the side. However, when Qin Feng faced this scene, he did not dodge or evade. He improved 2 small realms, his combat power increased several times, and the 9 bands were superimposed 81 times, giving him a continuous aura. Qin Feng God King's light shield protects his body, spreading endless light, like an immortal God King, fierce and invincible. Zhu De's heart could not be at peace. He transformed into lightning bolts, and with the quasi-immortal sword in his hand, he struck out powerfully, shaking the world. However, the light on Qin Feng's body was like clouds and clouds, very brilliant, spreading out amazing fluctuations. He was protected by a light shield and engraved with runes. Even though Zhu De moved the mountain to the 9th level of heaven, he still couldn't break Qin Feng's defense. He was furious in his heart, but there was nothing he could do. More importantly, right now, Qin Feng spread a powerful force, and he looked sideways at Zhu De, making him feel humiliated. It was clear that this boy was not his opponent just now, but in an instant, the opponent had risen to 2 small realms. There was still a dozen or so small realms behind him, but it had already spread astonishing fluctuations, which made his heart feel heavy. As heavy as a mountain. Brush. The quasi-immortal weapon in Zhu De's hand created a mysterious wave. His speed suddenly increased more than 10 times, and he repeatedly activated the Suzaku slash in the void. The sky is full of Zhu De's figure. He continuously vibrates the weapon and roars with sword energy. Standing on Qin Feng's God King seal shield, he cannot break through the defense at all. At this moment, Qin Feng's figure disappeared on the spot, and then a sword energy came from the void, instantly cutting off one of Zhu De's arms. If Zhu De had not been able to dodge quickly, he would have been cut in half by Qin Feng with this sword. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng swung his sword again, and the second move of the 8 immortal slaying moves came out of the void. With a pop, Zhu De's other arm was also cut off, and it fell to the ground. There was a moment of silence here, and everyone present was dumbfounded. Zhu De was a dignified law enforcement elder of the Suzaku Holy Land, and his cultivation reached the 9th level, yet he was cut into a human stick by Qin Feng. Zhu De was bleeding, his eyes shrank sharply, and he growled in disbelief. Qin Feng only advanced 2 small realms and already crushed him. He cut off both of his arms with just 2 swings of his sword, which he couldn't accept. At this time, his whole body was cold, and a sense of sadness came to his heart. The other party was really amazing. How is this possible? Zhu De couldn't believe it. At this time, Qin Feng's divine power was like a volcano, the eruption was astonishing, and the billowing energy and blood made the void tremble. Damn it, Qin Feng is so amazing. Even the law enforcement elders from the 9th level of the mountain have lost their arms due to him. Everyone was shocked, but in just a few breaths, Qin Feng broke through 2 small realms without causing any backlash, causing a complete sensation in this place. Crossing more than a dozen small realms and crushing law enforcement elders. Is this the ultimate expression of the Divine King's body? It's so terrifying. Qian Ming's tone of voice was trembling as he spoke, because it was so unbelievable that after just 2 minor improvements, his combat power was already comparable to that of the 9 heavens, which made him shocked. This is not just the power of the God King's body. Zhu De was retreating rapidly, and Qin Feng's combat performance was not something that a monk in the realm of telepathy could show. Even if the opponent has a Divine King body, it is impossible for him to possess such terrifying combat power. Brush. Zhu De's pair of wings turned into 2 heavenly swords, filled with mist, killing with overwhelming murderous intent. Qin Feng's performance in the Yi dynasty realm is even stronger than that of the Holy Sun in the Moving Mountain realm. His fighting power is surprisingly high, enough to crush a generation, making him unmatched. Qin Feng's fighting prowess makes it difficult for other quasi-holy sons to compete with him. Xiao Lun whispered softly. He, Zhu Yixin and others around him were all very excited. Being able to follow Qin Feng was, in their opinion, the most correct investment. Qin Feng is very powerful, and he will definitely have a place in the future ancient world. As Qin Feng's followers, their status will naturally increase, and their future is limitless. Fang Han, Fang Ling, and others were also very excited. Although they were killed by Qin Feng once in the power conference, Qin Feng's power really impressed them. At this moment, Elder Zhu De looked down upon them and wanted to silence them all, which made them very dissatisfied. Although Qin Feng was saving himself, he was also saving them, which made them very grateful. If it is proven that Qin Feng has the strength to crush the 9 heavens of moving mountains, then in this Suzaku secret realm, except for the aborigines, there will probably be very few people who can be Qin Feng's opponents. After all, in the Suzaku secret realm, the upper limit of the number of disciples who have entered is the 9th heaven of moving mountains, and if the cultivators of the 9th heaven of moving mountains cannot survive in Qin Feng's hands, then it is enough to crush the Suzaku secret realm. Qin Feng naturally didn't know what that person was thinking. He stood in the void, and a huge Suzaku divine form appeared behind him. He found that the Suzaku divine form was blessed with divine power here, which made him move slightly. This Suzaku secret realm is probably a small world opened up by an ancient master of the Suzaku Holy Land, otherwise, the fire attribute energy contained in it would not be so deep. Zhu De, you have tried to kill me again and again, and now I will send you on your way. Qin Feng said lightly, and he stepped on the immortal step and turned into a ray of light, and flew over in an instant. Swish! Qin Feng swung the Juexian sword, and the Suzaku divine form behind him looked down and dominated the world. This sword directly split the void, causing black cracks to appear in the world, swallowing everything. Zhu De fought back with all his strength, and his wings transformed into 2 swords, which stretched forward like a sword across the sky. However, Qin Feng's sword was too strong. He split the void and blocked the opponent's sword. The crack in the void directly locked Zhu De's voice and figure, swallowing him into a blood mist, without even a bone residue left. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 340. Although Zhu De was powerful, his Suzaku slash was ultimately no match for Qin Feng's Juexian sword, and was directly wiped out. A tragic and shrill voice echoed in this place, and then a strong wind blew, leaving nothing behind, even the ashes were blown away. The law enforcement elder Zhu De was slashed by Qin Feng, and was completely turned into ashes, without even a trace left. Seeing the law enforcement elder being destroyed, all of Qin Feng's disciples were stunned. The law enforcement elder of the Suzaku Holy Land, a strong man who could move mountains and 9 layers of heaven, just disappeared like this, which was really shocking. Originally, they thought that Qin Feng would at most tie with brother Zhu De, but he didn't expect that he would kill Zhu De directly. He was simply a demon, domineering and powerful. Zhu De died, and a diamond scratch card appeared on the spot. Qin Feng flew forward and picked it up casually. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully using the diamond scratch card and obtaining 10,000 high-grade Shendong pills. Only 10,000 Shendong pills, which is too little. The explosion rate of diamond scratch cards is not very high recently, and no good things have appeared for a long time. As Qin Feng's cultivation becomes stronger and stronger, the resources he needs are also increasing. 10,000 Shendong pills are really not a reward for Qin Feng. Brother Qin is really fierce. Qian Mingfanghan and others were all very excited. Qin Feng killed Zhu Di with a strong move and solved the biggest crisis here. Even if the Holy Land blames him, it is Zhu Di who has brought it upon himself. The only pity is that Zhu Di is dead, so there is no way to identify Zhu Qishan. In fact, even if Qin Feng and others sue Zhu Qishan and have solid evidence, I am afraid that the Holy Land will not blame him. Because, as the son of the Holy Land of Suzaku, Zhu Qishan is extremely talented. If nothing unexpected happens, he will be the Holy Lord of the Holy Land of Suzaku in the future. It is impossible for the Holy Land of Suzaku to punish Zhu Qishan. At most, it was just a warning. As for the hostile confrontation between the saints, such things are not uncommon in the Suzaku Holy Land. If you want to control the huge Suzaku Holy Land in the future, it is impossible without going through some hardships. After doing all this, Qin Feng flew into the air and took everyone away from here, and continued to search for the whereabouts of the divine pattern in the Suzaku secret realm. Soon, Qin Feng and his team noticed the whereabouts of 3 Suzaku divine patterns, and they landed on the top of a mountain. In Qin Feng's perception, the 3 Suzaku divine patterns were not too far from here, but they were separated by 3 directions. If they were to obtain them one by one, they might be intercepted by others. So, when Qin Feng said that there were 3 Suzaku divine patterns, Zhu Yishan and others were all shocked. Because they also covered a distance of nearly 10,000 meters with the power of the soul, but they did not find any fluctuations in the breadth of the Suzaku divine pattern. This also shows that Qin Feng's soul fluctuations are enough to crush all of them. So, they split into 2 groups and began to look for the Vermilion Bird Divine Mark. After obtaining the Vermilion Bird Divine Mark, they gathered at the last place. Qin Feng set off with Zhou Qing'er and Wang Shui, and soon they came to the mountain. As Qin Feng and his team approached, he locked onto the Vermilion Bird Divine Mark in an instant. Swish! Suddenly, before Qin Feng and his team approached, a terrifying sound came from the mountain, flowing with terrifying power. Then, dozens of screams were heard, and then there was no more movement. Kill! At this time, a delicate cry came from the top of the mountain, and a girl in the air, with dazzling light all over her body, holding a fairy sword, was surging here. However, Qin Feng felt that the other party's breath was weak, and he was afraid that he would be defeated soon. There was a strong smell of blood here, and more than a dozen corpses were lying in the mountains. It was obvious that they were just killed by the fierce beast guarding this place. Qin Feng frowned slightly. Sure enough, the Suzaku secret realm was so dangerous. He could feel that the female cultivator floating in the void had a cultivation level as high as the 7th level of moving mountains. Among the dozen cultivators here, only she was alive. On the one hand, her cultivation level was strong enough, and on the other hand, the cultivators around her created opportunities for her before she died. The powerful demon bird flying in the air had one claw that was almost broken, with only a layer of skin left. Qin Feng felt the strength of the 9th level of moving mountains on the body of the fierce bird. With such power, it is no wonder that all the cultivators here were killed, and only one of them was still struggling violently. This demon bird was very powerful, and strands of green light flowed around its body. Even if the cultivator was as strong as the 7th level of moving mountains, he still showed defeat. It's Zhu Xiaoman, the true disciple of the Suzaku Holy Land. Wang Shui, who was sitting on the crane, explained. She recognized the other party's identity just by the figure flying in the void. Zhu Xiaoman is a true disciple of the Holy Land. Although she is not a saint, she is also extremely beautiful and far superior to ordinary people. More importantly, her strength is not weak. Compared with some true male disciples, she is also stronger than others. She is also well known among the true disciples of the Suzaku Holy Land. Buzz! Suddenly, the magic bird in the sky flashed with light, and the originally broken pillars were connected together, surging with heavy flames, and it was intact. At the same time, a bright electric light burst out and hit Zhu Xiaoman. Boom! When Zhu Xiaoman was hit, she let out a wail and fell towards Qin Feng. At the same time, the fierce bird chased after her, and its claws were surging with electric light, trying to tear Zhu Xiaoman apart directly. Clang clang! A shocking sound came, and the top-grade armor of the king on Zhu Xiaoman was torn apart in an instant. Under the claws of the demon bird, it was vulnerable. It was also at this moment that Zhu Xiaoman used the dragon body movement to dodge, and she jumped hundreds of meters away. In the void, Zhu Xiaoman gasped for breath. After the fierce battle just now, the claws of many brothers and sisters who had injured the demon bird had also recovered, which made her terrified. She was not an opponent of the injured demon bird, and now the opponent's injuries had recovered, so it was even less of an opponent. At this moment, Zhu Xiaoman didn't care about the embarrassment at this time, and she turned around and ran away. Swoosh! However, this demon bird was really angry. How could it let her go? The wings of the demon bird flapped, spreading gusts of wind, and for a while, sand and rocks flew, and swooped towards Zhu Xiaoman. The speed was extremely fast, and the whole body was filled with lightning, with a powerful killing power. Puff! Another burst of lightning flashed, and the thick lightning hit Zhu Xiaoman's body. Ah! In an instant, Zhu Xiaoman was horrified, and she fell from the sky like a fallen leaf to the ground. At this moment, she was too exhausted and could not raise her true energy. Without the true energy to protect her body, once she fell to the ground, she would only die.